Okay, I'd like to call to order this public meeting for the Township of Puslinch on September 22nd, 2021. I will start with roll call. Councillor Goyda.
Present.
Councillor Despoulas.
Present.
Councillor Bailey.
Present.
And Councillor Ballmer.
Present.
And I believe Ms. Whitefox, am I correct that staff will identify they're here?
Yes, we can do that as well. So Courtney Hoyt-Fox, clerk.
Glenn Schwendinger, CAO.
Okay,
Mary Hassan, Director of Finance Treasurer.
Mike Fowler, Director of Public Works.
Jeff Bunn, Deputy Clerk.
Andrew,
Andrew Hartholt, Chief Billing Official.
I believe that's it for staff. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Trying to save some paper, so I'm going to read this from my email. Purpose of this public meeting is to inform and provide the public with the opportunity to ask questions or express views with respect to the proposed user fees and charges bylaw. Councilors are here to observe and listen to your comments. However, they will not make any decisions this evening. Township requests that you notified by email Mary Hassan at mhassan@puslinch.ca or by phone at 519-763-1226, extension 222. You wish to be on record regarding this matter. Please note, the meeting is video and audio recorded, and all electronic meetings are uploaded to the municipality's YouTube page. By registering to participate in the meeting by electronic means, you are consenting to have your likeness and comments recorded and posted to YouTube. The format of this public meeting is as follows. Township staff will present the purpose and details of the public meeting and any further relevant information. Following this, the public can obtain clarification, ask questions, and express their views. Staff will attempt to answer questions or respond to concerns this evening. If this is not possible, staff will follow up and obtain this information. Responses will be provided when this matter is brought forward and evaluated by council at a later date. So I believe now, Ms. Hassan, you have a presentation?
Yes, Mayor Seeley. Just further to Mayor Seeley, we are meeting today just regarding the proposed 2022 user fees and charges bylaw. And we will discuss, I'm sorry, Ms. Hoyt-Fox, can you just share the presentation? Okay, so we're just on the second slide. So we will discuss where township revenues come from, why we collect user fees, the changes proposed from 2022, and feedback from the public. Something new that we've started this year is utilizing Engage Puslinch for feedback from the public. There's a survey on Engage Puslinch as well. And the last day for providing any comments on Engage Puslinch is on October 4th at 12 p.m. So the main objective is to inform you about the township's finances and the proposed 2022 user fees and charges, and receive feedback that we can consider prior to finalizing the user fees and charges bylaw. I'll hold questions until the end of the presentation, please. Next slide, please, Courtney. So this graph explains where township revenue comes from. Property taxes, similar to other municipalities, user fees, licenses and fines, payments in lieu of taxes and other levies, grants and other recoveries and penalties and interest. So next slide, please. So user fees are an important input into the operating budget. So we've already started some discussions regarding budget. On June 29th, we all met for our council objectives direction to staff meeting. August and September, we're currently developing both capital and operating budgets with department heads. Today, we're here at discussing the user fees and charges. October 27th will be our first draft of the capital and operating budget, which will be presented to council. November 17th will be the second draft. January 2022 will be doing a budget public input similar to the public input that we're doing today regarding user fees and charges. And the hope is to have the budget adopted by council in February of 2022. Next slide, please. So the purpose of collecting user fees is to allocate costs for specific services to the users of those services. Most services are not full cost recovery. The share of recovery depends on fair market costs and the service levels set by council. There is specific legislation as it relates to the building department and the Planning Act. So in the building department, we're legislatively mandated to fully fund building permit fees and expenses directly in the building department. And then the Planning Act stipulates that planning application fees be designed to meet the anticipated costs of the township. Next slide, please. So what changes are being proposed? So similar to previous years, we look at what the actual cost for providing the service is while keeping in line with the comparator municipalities. And we also look at the consumer price index inflation rate, which is projected to be 2% for 2022. The next few slides, I will outline the proposed changes to the fees by department, excluding those fees that have been automatically increased by the consumer price index inflation rate of 2%. So in the administration department, we have a routine disclosure fee that's been established since 2021. It's currently established, but the recommendation is that we change the fee from $7.50 for the initial request to $5 for the initial request in order to be more in line with freedom of information request fees, which are $5 for the initial request. So it's a small change. In the Public Works Department, we're recommending the incorporation of a $1,000 deposit for all entrance permit applications, with the deposit being fully refundable upon completion of the entrance and pending no damages to the roadway. And this is in line with other municipalities, nearby municipalities to the township. In the Planning and Development Department, we are proposing that we increase the telecommunication tower proposal fee in order to recover the costs associated with the service. And so the increase is based on increase in cost for providing this service. In the bylaw department, we've removed the discharge of firearms exemption fee as directed by council. And so no fee is established at this time until such time as a bylaw is adopted. And then the kennel license fee, there is currently a fee of $193, but we're recommending that it be replaced with different categories of fees for cost recovery purposes based on the varying requirements for the types of application. And this is comparable to other municipalities close to the township. In the Parks and Optimist Recreation Center, we are recommending some minor changes to the cancellation terms in order to be consistent with other facilities in the township. So we're recommending that the cancellation terms for rentals of 8 or more bookings at the Optimist Recreation Center and our parks have an administration fee where the required notice isn't provided. And this is consistent with the cancellation policy that we have at the Puslan Community Center, which we've implemented since 2017. We are recommending the establishment of a per hour fee structure for our tennis courts, and this is consistent with the fee structure implemented in January of 2018 for baseball and soccer field rentals. And it's a per hour of usage fee as outlined on this slide. So I think that's the end of the presentation. I'd welcome any questions or comments at this time.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. San.
Thank you.
Are there any persons who have questions, require further clarification or information, or wish to present their views on the matter? I think it's just Julian Showworth from the Wellington Advertiser in the gallery. You could maybe just ask her.
Ms. Shuttleworth, if you have any questions or comments, if you could just use the raise your hand feature and then we can enable speaking permissions. She has raised her hand, Mr. Chair. She'll just allow her, I'll just unmute her here.
Hey, sorry, am I on?
Yes, you are.
I have no questions. I'm sorry. That's all I meant to say.
Thank you. I don't believe there's any other attendees. Is that correct, Ms. Hoyt Fox?
That's correct.
Okay. I declare this public meeting closed. Council will take no action on this matter tonight. Staff will be reporting at a later date with a recommendation for council's consideration. If you wish to receive further notification on this matter, notify by email Mary Hassan at mhassan@puslinch.ca or by phone at 519-763-1226, extension 222. Only those persons who leave their names will be provided further notification. If you wish to speak to the matter when it is brought before council in the future, you must register as a delegation with the township clerk prior to the meeting. I believe that ends our meeting. Thank you, everyone.